Hi, I'm Travis Price, and welcome to Stories of Kindness, the show where we give kids across Canada a positive outlet to be creative and kind. Let's get started. Today's episode's theme is... There are so many simple acts of kindness we can do every day. Even just saying please and thank you comes to mind as a simple act of kindness. Let me check in with today's co-host, Maneli Shafiee. Hey Maneli, thanks for co-hosting with me today on Stories of Kindness.
Bonjour Travis, merci beaucoup de m'avoir invité. Je suis Maneli de Vancouver en Colombie-Britannique et je suis vraiment excitée. Hi Travis, thank you so much for having me today. I'm Maneli from Vancouver, from British Columbia, and I'm so excited to be here.
What made you want to be a co-host on Stories of Kindness?
Well, I'm all about the little things you can enjoy in life, and I really do believe that even the smallest little actions can make such a big difference in people's lives. And I talk a lot, so 2 and 2 together would be a really good match.
We're so glad to have you here. But first, looks like we have a video submission. Let's check it out.
Hi, my name is Ashley Kim, and I'm going to talk to you guys about an act of kindness I did. So a few weeks ago, a classmate of mine, a friend now, he had to quarantine himself for just a bit before he got tested. Thankfully, his test just came back last week and it was negative, so thank God. Anyway, so he had to miss a few days of school because of quarantine. So he was fairly new to the school. I think he moved to Canada just last year. So he didn't have many friends. He wasn't very fluent in English too. So he was just very quiet. I just always knew him kind of like the quiet kid in the class. And so my teacher, he asked anybody in our class if they could volunteer to give him his homework or send a picture of his homework by email or phone number or Instagram, whatever it is. And so I volunteered. I did, because he actually helped me with a few of my homeworks. That was kind of nice. So I decided I would give back to him. So I did volunteer. And I took pictures every day after school of the board or the lesson we did and the homework he had to do. And I send it to him. He would reply back with the thank you or all the homework he did. And he would have to send it to his teacher and stuff like that. So it was quite nice. It was nice. And I got to make a friend along the way. So that was very nice. Now I hang out with him at school. It's really nice to have a new friend that I didn't know about before. So my act of kindness was, in a way, a new way actually to make a friend. So it was very interesting. It was a good, pleasant experience.
That was great. It doesn't take much to really make a difference in our communities. Hey Maneli, we have a really cool guest today, don't we?
Yes, Travis. Today we have Dylan Playfair from Disney's Descendants and YTV's Some Assembly Required. It's so cool.
When is that happening? Isn't that supposed to happen like now? Pitter patter, you better get at her.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. So now I am joined by our special guest, Dylan Playfair. Welcome to Stories of Kindness.
Oh, thanks so much for having me, Nelly. I'm stoked to be here.
So, what shows have you been on?
Well, I just finished up on Mighty Ducks: The Game Changers, and that's going to be on Disney Plus. There hasn't been a release date quite yet for it. I did Descendants 2 and 3. I work on a bunch of different things, and the latest one was Mighty Ducks, and hopefully we get another season. But so far we've only done the one, and we're waiting to hear back as far as how it's received by the audience.
Ooh, that's awesome! Yeah, I absolutely love those shows. I actually have the Descendants soundtrack downloaded on my phone, and I just
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then I was obsessed with Some Assembly Required. Watched it all the time in elementary school. So whoa! And,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm also an actress, by the way, in musical.
Oh, fantastic!
just inside. But yeah, and if any music producers are watching this, hi.
Hey.
Yeah, so just for anyone else who's interested in the acting field and stuff, do you have any tips or message to anyone?
Yeah, definitely. I would think the first thing to do is just get started in any means necessary, by any means necessary, I should say. So for me, I had done drama coming up through high school and elementary school, something that I always really, really enjoyed doing, school plays, auditions, things like that. So community theater is a really good sort of first step for people, especially if you're not necessarily in a film center. I think kids growing up in Vancouver, Toronto, Los Angeles, now there's a little bit more filming going on in places like Calgary and Atlanta and Georgia. But if you're not in one of those big city centers, I would say community theater is the first step to really see whether or not you enjoy the process of acting itself. Because I think a lot of people believe that acting is sort of being famous, and it's really not about that. It's really about the time you put in when you're learning your lines and understanding your role in a story. And plays, theater particularly, has a really, really good way of sort of giving you a test as far as whether or not you actually want to make a career out of it. Because if you're having a fun time on stage doing those performances from beginning to end, that's a really good litmus test as far as whether or not you're going to enjoy the process of actually going out and auditioning. Because every scene really is just a miniature, sort of a snapshot of the bigger project. And you're performing, whether you're auditioning or doing a scene or on stage, that's the thing that should be the rewarding part of it. I don't think that anyone who gets into acting with the intention of becoming rich or famous is going to be feeling like they've had success. Because if you're doing the acting, if you're actually on stage or in a scene or on set, that's the moment where I think the most rewarding element comes out of the craft. So just get started, find community theaters, find acting classes, and I would just really start exposing yourself to the stories of people you want to be like and seeing how they got to where they got to. That's how I started. I researched a lot of actors and sort of studied their journeys from aspiring actors to working actors, and then kind of found my own way into the industry.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm just going to be straight up honest. I'm kind of starstruck right now.
That's okay.
Anyways, so this episode is all about simple acts of kindness. So can you share a story?
Yeah, the act of doing something good for someone else really does, it inadvertently makes you feel better. So saying yes and then taking it as it comes. I think a lot of fear and anxiety comes from the thoughts of what could happen, and those things have not yet happened. So what's the power in that fear? There isn't any. So I think saying yes to things and being open and being receptive and approaching life with joy and love and compassion and giving, these are all things that can create this energy of positivity and kindness in your day-to-day life by saying yes to things, by giving your time, by giving your attention to other people. It creates this momentum. So I really encourage people to take advantage of opportunities when they're presented that allow you to interact with people in a positive way and to shine light on the world. There's so much power in shining your light and being positive and being excited about life, and you can sort of brighten that up just by saying yes to things and by giving parts of yourself to other people. Like you create this momentum and it feels really good.
Even like just you coming onto this show is a sort of sharing of kindness because you're giving your positive vibes to everyone. And I just think that's awesome. So, well, thank you so much for being on Stories of Kindness and talking to us today. And yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, it was my absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. Now back to you, Travis.
Hi, and welcome back to studio. We haven't heard from WITS the Walrus in a while. Let's see what he's up to.
Close the door, please. Huh? Oh. walking as fast as I can.
It's a nice cloud. Well, she's almost here. Hey, come on in.
Thank you, what's up?
Yeah. All right.
Wow. WITSAP's really doing some simple acts of kindness today. That was really a long time to hold the door for someone, but totally worth it. That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us for Stories of Kindness. Please remember, believe in yourself, believe in each other, and let's continue to spread stories of kindness. See you next time.